Today, from Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta, Georgia, it's Week 9 of the...
The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9? And we will not see a run back on the opening kickoff. This will be a touchback. And here come the Saints for their opening drive. And here's a look at their leader, standing 6'4".
And I thought it was a really nice performance last week by him. 3 touchdown passes. I think that signifies exactly what he was getting done. He did have the 1 interception.
But that's the ratio you say you're okay with, right?
If you go 3-to-1, you're going to be pretty happy over the course of the season. And let's face it, he'll never blame the receiver publicly. But behind closed doors, he's probably told his agent, hey, what's the deal? I should have had a perfect game.
Jet sweep to start the drive. And he'll hope that this is not a sign of what's in store as he has to fight just to get back to the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain on the game's first play. And it's 2nd down now. You talk about this Falcon defense. They're going to be tough to throw on, no doubt. Currently ranked 3rd in the NFL against the pass.
And since this is such a good unit of covering passes downfield, I think that last play is typical of what we might see. A lot of short passes, see if they can generate some run after the catch. But nothing doing on that one.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And he will find his man on the outside. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. Good work after the catch. Going to net him 23 and a first. Back to throw. Hills. Got his man. That's Luke Musgrave. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. 2nd down and 4. Man in motion left. That's Collins. Here's a fake on the jet sweep, and instead a give up the middle. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he can even get started. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And he's got his man on the out route. And he is going to have a Saints first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. They run over center with Mitchell. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. The numbers last week for Mitchell. 14 carries, 57 yards.
It's a pretty mediocre week for him on the ground. Certainly a boon to his offense if he can get a little more output on his touches this week. He should get some more early carries as his team tries to get him into a rhythm.
This one complete to his fullback out of the backfield. 7 yards there and a first down. Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter. Now a play fake here on first down. He's going to let it go deep for the end zone. And this one is incomplete.
Against a team coming off a win just as your team did the previous week, you talk about being physical all game long. Sometimes being physical is just being on the spot and helping force the incompletion.
Back to the ground here, Mitchell. And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4. Well, this defense for the Falcons, they were very good a week ago in that win over Minnesota.
Yeah, what stood out to me on tape, the way they were flying to the football. So that tells me that they've got all their assignments down, and they're playing with extreme confidence.
He's got his running back out of the backfield. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal.
That's a big conversion there on third down, and this has been a great opening drive. You know, at this point, they'd hate to settle for 3, but they've created a fresh set of downs and a first and goal.
And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's second down. Operating from the gun, Hills, and it's caught. Touchdown, Saints. Pat Freiermuth with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Saints get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. A long opening drive, but a very successful opening drive. We call that methodical, I guess, when it takes that many plays.
Methodical and almost like a boxing match where you're hitting them with body blows. They can withstand them here. Look, they gave up the touchdown, but you don't feel like a knockout is there. But they keep doing that in the fourth quarter. That's when the knockout occurs.
And it becomes tough for that defense if they're on the field that long. We'll see if they can continue that in future drives. Following the touchdown, here's Gay to kick it away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. So here come the Falcons now to get the football for the first time. And they'll be let out by their 6-year quarterback.
Not sure what you thought, but I thought it was appropriate when he walked into our meeting with his arm totally encased in ice. Because he threw 5 touchdown passes last week and won the NFC Offensive Player of the Week award.
Yeah, but reading the paper this morning, and he said, gosh, I actually thought I should have got 6 or 7. But still, it was an amazing performance a week ago. Boy,
I'll tell you what, if he thought he should have had 6 or 7, that's a guy who's an absolute perfectionist, not just greedy.
On first and 10, it's Penix. Escaping the pressure right. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble.
Give him a little extra credit there. His head was cool as the play broke down. Didn't force a throw, and in the end, got to show off his athleticism with a nice gain to bring up a new set of downs.
Throwing on first down is Penix. This ball taken in here by Brooks. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A good pickup there at 22.
And even though this is a top 5 rushing offense, and we see this especially early in the game, they're going to do their best to keep you honest. They don't want you getting the habit of stacking the box, so that's a good throw there, and they're able to come up with the first down.
Here's Penix on first and 10. Looking downfield, and that's caught right side. He's got his man. And he's down inside the 5 at the 4 before he's out of bounds. An explosive 38-yard pickup. So 3 plays already first and goal, and they are wasting little time. They'll bring a receiver in motion right. Robinson will score. Touchdown, Atlanta. Well, that was a quick drive. The passing game set it up, and then the running game finishes it off.
And how about how few plays it was to get it done, but they threw it downfield and it pounded it into the end zone. And as a former defender, I can tell you, it hurts just a little bit more when they run it into the end zone instead of throwing it.
Koo able to connect on the extra point, and we are tied at 7. Just a 4-play drive that time. And it was Bijan Robinson who took it home with a touchdown run. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And he'll wisely just take a knee here. This ball will come out to the 30-yard line. New Orleans Saints, they get ready to set up shop for their second drive. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific.
Puts it on the carpet, it's out, and the Falcons grab it. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. Well, this jet sweep is so popular now in football, but Charles, here's the downside, a turnover.
Yeah, because you want so badly to get the ball in the hands of your receivers, let him try and create something. I think that when he took the handoff, he was thinking something big. Instead, he didn't feel the pressure, and the ball came free.
Play fake. Now Penix out to his left. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. The firing in that time, it was Nick Herbig. Credit him with a sack. You know darn well both of these teams reviewed the film and saw that this defense had 5 sacks last week. They got to keep their QB upright.
And they're going to try their best to do exactly that. But they're facing a team where getting to the quarterback is a mindset. It's a mantra for them. And they play a game within the game. And you know what it is? Let's race to the quarterback and see who gets there first.
Back now in Atlanta's second quarter action. The Falcons with the football as they've got it facing a 2nd and long situation. Now Penix. That's going to be caught. Touchdown, Falcons. A great effort there. 31 yards. And the Falcons have taken the lead. Well executed there offensively. Defense looked a little confused, but he found his receiver, and that one good for 6 points.
And the payoff we just saw there tells us how many times they ran this play in practice over the past few weeks because they executed that flawlessly right here on game day when the situation arose.
Extra point by Koo, up and good. And that makes the score 14-7. The long touchdown pass gets him 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. And no thought of bringing this one out. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll begin the drive at the 30. The New Orleans offense set to take over. That 7-0 lead of theirs short-lived as they've now given up 2 straight touchdowns to fall behind by 7.
Yeah, but no cause for discouragement here. Yeah, they've fallen behind, but haven't they proven that they can go down and score? So what was the formula that got them down there the first time? Get back to something close to that, and maybe they get this game tied up.
No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. Operating from the gun. Hills, left side, that's caught by Mitchell. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it can turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
On third down, Hills. Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. Picked off by A.J. Terrell. Well, certainly not his best throw that time, and not a good time to make it, Charles, when they were a nickel with 5 defensive backs on the field.
And that's exactly why you have those 5 DBs out there. You want extra speed on the field, guys who have ball skills and understand what the passing game can do, and gives them a chance to react and make a play on the football, and they take one of those away.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. They'll start in excellent field position following the INT. And a good pickup there. He gets about 6 up to midfield.
Good yardage there on first down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making first downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your second down play.
On second down, another shot for Robinson. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. They'll throw with Penix. That to the sideline, and it's intercepted. And the Saints are going to get it back here just past the 35. So consecutive interceptions here early on in this one, and maybe setting the tone, Charles, for a game where the defense really takes center stage.
And don't you think that both offenses are really catching a bit from their coaching staff about avoiding these turnovers that we've seen early? I think both teams are trying to find an advantage. We know that. Can one of them break away and take control of this game?
That play going for 16 yards to start the drive. First down.
Now how about this throw right here? Had to throw it to the left sideline, and you know the timing's got to be correct on this one. Ball's got to be right where it needs to be, and it was. That's because he had great arm strength on that one, able to drive the football. Quarterbacks love it when they can show off their arms.
And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Looking to throw. Hills. Here's Mitchell with a catch out of the backfield. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2.
And a nice gain and a broken tackle along the way. And really, we shouldn't be surprised, should we? That's what runners do, especially the best ones. They break tackles and gain extra yardage.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. They'll head out of bounds inside the 10. Mark him down at the 9. Now they'll have it 1st and goal following that gain of 17. Again, he'll drop to throw. And he's got him. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. CeeDee Lamb with career touchdown number 70. And the Saints are an extra point away now from tying this ball game. Gay is on for the point after. And we've got a good one brewing. We're all knotted up at 14. 5 plays there on that drive. And it's finished off by the touchdown from CeeDee Lamb. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. Here we go on the return from the 1-yard line. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 up to the 33. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. Just the one misstep for them in the first half of the season. 7-1 is the record at the midway point. And in terms of whatever power rankings you want to go by, they're at or near the top of the list in terms of best teams in the National Football League.
And for me, in my little bit of rankings here, I've got them at the top. I know there's still 2 months to go. We've seen teams get off to hot starts and then fade away due to injuries or the schedule or whatever. But in unless there are a rash of injuries on this team, I'd be surprised if they aren't a first or a second seed come playoff time.
This 2nd and 4. Play fake, and they'll throw with Penix. Open man is Kyle Pitts, his tight end. Well, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. But first down there on a pickup of 25.
And that play was all about timing between the quarterback and his tight end, because the ball's got to be released with a little bit of float to it so he can run under it. Lays it out there for him. You know what else is involved? Trust that he's going to separate from the defender and have a chance to get the football, and he does exactly that and gets out of bounds with a first down.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Check out. Switch gears. Kill.
Robinson up the middle. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. 11 more on that one and another first down.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
The throw over the middle taken in. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. They'll send a receiver in motion to the left. They'll go play action here with Penix. This to Pitts, and he's got him. Touchdown, Atlanta. Kyle Pitts, a 12-yard touchdown grab. And the Falcons will take the lead here in the final minute of the first half.
And that touchdown gives them a touchdown lead before they attempt the extra point. What a great way to end the half.
Yeah, great job to put themselves in front, and now see on the sideline, special teams defense scrambling, saying we want to preserve this for the final moments of this second quarter. Now Younghoe Koo for the extra point. It's up and good, and that'll make the score 21-14. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it was the tight end Kyle Pitts finishing it all off on a touchdown reception. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. And the returner down to a knee, and this will come out to the 30-yard line. The Saints offense going to head out now late in this first half. And with just under a minute to go, they might try to think about mounting a drive here if they can and get in the end zone. Could potentially tie this game up. They'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. To throw on second down. Hills, he's got his tight end Freiermuth right side. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. On 1st and 10, Hills drops this underneath. It's Mitchell. So just 3 yards on the completion there, and it's second down. They'll look to throw again. That's another one complete to Mitchell. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6. Now the Saints will use their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. And it's taken in at the 9. That'll be a 43-yard punt, but a net of just 33 following a 10-yard return. And And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And with only 4 seconds on the clock, time likely for just one snap of the football. They'll throw now on the final play. And his throw's going to be incomplete. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you, too, in a bit. For now, plenty of...
Past the halfway point of the season and now past the halfway point of this game. We skip halftime and get right back to the action. Set to begin the third quarter. The Falcons back to receive. They've got the lead, and they'll get this football as the second half gets underway. So here are the Falcons to take over on offense. They're working on a 4-game winning streak, and they lead this one as well right now as they start 1st and 10. And looking to throw. Penix steps away. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. A big play on the catch and run, covering 34 yards.
Oftentimes now offenses aren't nearly as precise as days gone by. They just tell receivers, find an open patch of grass and let the quarterback find you. And that's exactly what they did on that play. First with the pass through the air, nice chunk of yardage there, and then additional pickup with his legs after the catch.
Check three. SOS.
On 1st and 10, it's Robinson. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. Steps away to his left. And, he's unable to hold on to that defensively. A potential game changer, but it falls incomplete.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there's not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
On the move to his left. And he's caught. Gets past one. Touchdown. A great play there. 41 yards. And the Falcons have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. And there they got him the ball. Just get it to him, let him do the rest.
You know, he probably said that to his quarterback as he broke the huddle. I like the play call. Just get it to me. I'll take care of the rest of it.
Helping out his rack, right? RAC.
Run after catch, and he loves that, and he's going to carry that in at contract time.
Coup for the extra point. He's got it as they double up the lead. This one's now 28-14. A drive there of just 4 plays. And the end result, an Atlanta touchdown. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. And he'll wisely just take a knee here, and this ball will come out to the 30-yard line. Now the attention turns to the Saints offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. Well, the opposition laid down the challenge and opening drive touchdown here to start the second half. And Charles, now you feel like this group needs to get an answer because this all of a sudden is a 2-score game.
Yeah, you're right about that. What was a small magical spread to overcome, a little bit more daunting now. I think you're exactly right. Pressure is on because you don't want them getting the ball back with a chance to really extend this lead out.
Now a timeout here, at least for the moment. Looks like one of the Saints is injured, shaken up on that last play. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Operating from the gun. Hills. And he will find his man on the outside. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. They show run with 3 tight ends here on 1st down. Running left, Corum. And space tough to come by there as he'll get maybe a yard to the 37. When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Hills. That's complete to his tight end Freiermuth. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he's got the 1st down yardage as he takes it down to the 49. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs. From Falcon territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Now this one over the middle into the hands of his tight end, complete. And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8. Ball on the 40 now. Here's 2nd and 2. On the counter, Mitchell. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, and now they go from 2nd and 2 to a tough 3rd and 4.
You got to figure the further they fall behind, the more you think that they'll get away from the run. They're trying to stick with it, but the results, they just aren't there.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. A short one there to Freiermuth. And he'll go out of bounds right around the 40. Call it a gain of 3 on the play. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. And he missed it. It's no good. And this will remain a 2-touchdown game.
Brandon, anything beyond 50, you start rolling the dice a bit. And once you get up around 57, 58 yards, the chances of making it go down dramatically. And sure enough, this one winds up no good.
They start on the ground with Robinson here. And he's going to take this across the 50 and into Saints territory. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
He's had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end.
Get wide. On your 10.
On 2nd down, another shot for Robinson. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down. Robinson with another carry. Oh, nifty juke there.
Not much fun for a guy trying to tackle him.
That's some good hard running there as he'll push his way forward for about 5. These two teams, they met up earlier in the year, back in week 2. And with the Falcons getting the road victory in that one, so they'll look to finish off the season sweep here in Atlanta. 2nd down and a run by Robinson. And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup. Robinson will try to pick it up. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter. 3 quarters in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10.
Go. Mike 35.
Looking to throw. Penix. That's going to be caught by Pitts. Touchdown, Falcons. Kyle Pitts, his second touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year. And the Falcons add on to their lead, and they are also closing in on a 5th straight victory. Well, he has been fun to watch throwing the football in this one. It's certainly not fun for that defense, though, Charles. Now up to 4 touchdown passes in this ball game.
Yeah, we're supposed to be neutral, but I'm feeling their pain right now because he has absolutely carved up this secondary. A clinic on how to attack a defense and take them out of the game.
Koo able to connect on the extra point. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. And no thought of bringing this one out. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll begin the drive at the 30. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And the way their last drive ended, boy, it was frustrating. They had a pretty good drive going. It was sustained, and then it stalled out, Charles, and they missed the field goal and got nothing out of it.
Is that insult to injury? Because they had such a sustained drive, as you noted. So you know for the head coach, it almost felt like a little bit of failure to send out the field goal unit, and then you not even see the ball go through the post. What a bummer on that last drive for them. Got to pick themselves up from that one.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Back to throw. Hills. A short one there to Freiermuth. And he gets this up to the 34 out of bounds there.
Let's just make this one simple. Could he be any more open than he was on that play?
And they lost him going to the outside.
Hard to believe because you go through your accounting on each and every defensive snap. Who's got who, what defense.
Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Troy Anderson. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. Now here in the 4th quarter, defensively, you know that you're just going to blanket the field with defensive backs and say, okay, take your best shot. And that time, it's intercepted.
And we've often seen teams go into the prevent early, way too early, and sometimes they get too soft in their coverages, but not in this case. They understood the situation and played it with the proper aggression.
Straight ahead, it's Robinson. Might have gotten this one down to the 28, and that's all. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces, and I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
On 2nd down, another shot for Robinson. And good running, going to get this down close to a first at the Saints' 20-yard line. 64 yards rushing for him now to this point.
And after that type of a run, there's some talking going on down on the field, but it's not trash talking. The guy who just carried the ball, he's going back and telling his offensive line, great job, keep it up, and we'll break that one soon.
On 3rd down, Robinson. And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes this one down to the 15. They're able to convert with a gain of 4.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on 3rd down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, 3rd down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. And he'll take this one down near the 15. And credit to tackle to Percy Butler.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
They work now on 2nd and 9.
Hey, alert 3, alert
And it's Robinson. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. A gain of 2 there on the heels of a 1-yard pickup on first.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough and run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
This to Pitts, and he's got him. Touchdown, Atlanta. Kyle Pitts from 13 yards out. And the Falcons up the lead to 4 scores now here in this fourth quarter. And you wonder now if he might be able to remove the helmet, put on the baseball cap, and watch the rest of this one from the sideline. His 5th touchdown pass of the game.
Say that again. Did you say 5th touchdown pass of the game?
Yes, sir.
Well, that's a heck of a performance, isn't it? Because they've had no answer for him at all game long. Receivers have been open constantly, and he hasn't missed a single one of them.
Extra point by Koo, up and good. And that'll increase their lead to 28. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. And the returner down to a knee, and this will come out to the 30-yard line. The New Orleans offense set to take over. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Hills over the middle, hauled in by Lamb. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score. From just shy of midfield, here's 2nd and 4. Back to throw. Hills checks this one down. It's Mitchell. And that's going to be good for another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 42. A nice pickup there, 10 yards. And with this game well in hand, perhaps we are seeing the coverage lighten up a little bit as they got burned there a bit for a 1st down.
But we certainly know the coach isn't happy along the sideline because he certainly wants them to finish this one out the way they started it. He doesn't want to give up any soft completions, no late points. He wants his lead to stay right where it is.
Well, that's now 4 completions in a row. A good bounce back following the interception last drive.
Certainly not letting it affect him, that's for sure. And we all know interceptions are going to happen. So the big trick, don't let it affect you going forward. Most of the good quarterbacks, they just tell the ball boy, get that one out of the rotation, give me a fresh ball, and let's go. He's got his offense moving again.
They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Back to throw again. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Falcons grab it. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. Atlanta prepped and ready for its next possession. Well, they don't really need the points here, Charles, given what we're looking at on the scoreboard, but they've scored on 3 consecutive possessions, 3 consecutive drives, and I'm sure that they would like to keep that streak going here and continuing to pour it on.
And things have gotten that way in the NFL, haven't they, partner? Because in the old days, people would, they'd get off the gas a little bit, right? But now, people can continue to accelerate, but we'll see what they decide to do as they come out with this one. But the way this game has gone, they've got to be awfully happy with their execution overall.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. 2nd and 5. They'll run again here with Robinson. He'll be stopped shy of the 45 despite a great move. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. Third and 4. Out of the gun, they give to Robinson. And brought down, but not before he was able to break the tackle, and the extra effort moves the sticks. The Falcons going to use the second of their timeouts. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. Robinson on a give right side. And he's down right around midfield after a gain of 2, maybe 3. Falcons going to use their third and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. Second down and 8. On the give, here's Robinson. And a pretty athletic run right there as he's going to get this down inside the 40. And they're going to hurry back to the line now. Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on one of those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? This offense, they certainly were there in this one, huh? Everything clicking for them in this contest, the kind of performance that they're going to cherish.
So for the Falcons, they're setting themselves up as a major contenders. They move to 8-1 now on the year. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for the Saints, they'll lose an important one here as that drops them to 5-4 on the season. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves next week at home against the Chicago Bears. So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gunn. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. It's a win for the Falcons here as we say so long from Atlanta.